Okay, so I know some of y'all are probably gonna get notifications that I started early. I just wanted to make sure everything would be working for 8:30. So take your time. I'm 10 minutes early. It's okay. I'm going away next week, so I did up my hair. That's why it's like pinned back right now. Hey, Jackie. It's just saying that I'm early. I wanted to make sure that everything would be working, because I'm usually having technical difficulties. So to make sure, to make sure everything was gonna be a-okay. How you doing? Are you at work? Of course you're at work. Nothing changes. Work schedules rarely change, but I finished work, so I'm like all happy right now. Of course I am at work, Jackie says. Yeah, I feel for you. I really do. Especially for, you guys don't get off Easter Sunday? I mean, we don't either, but I just assume everybody does because everywhere else has like the Friday off, the Sunday, the Monday. Everybody gets days off and we don't. I'm excited for tonight's topic. I think I say that for like every show, but Jackie, like female orgasm? Hello? This is what we women know to talk about. So you said, LOL, no, I work in human services. Holidays don't exist. Oh. Jackie, I feel your pain. The holidays just don't exist. That hurts. Ooh. That's like when I was younger, there's a big mall, like like a big city mall, and anyone who worked there, I think the only day they close is Christmas Day, but that's the only day they close. So I was like, I'm not getting a job there. Like as a teenager, I was like, if I'm gonna work retail, I refuse to work at that location because then that means I'm gonna be working all the time, and I don't want to be working all the time. See, this is what happens. I feel like, Jackie, I don't know if you're the same as me. I feel like I'm either a person who's like super early or a person who's late. There's no in between for me. I was like, oh my God, it's not gonna work. I'm gonna log on and it may take about 10 minutes or maybe even 5 minutes. So I'll just be 5 minutes early. No. It came on right away. It was like, what's the problem? Meanwhile, if I thought, okay, I got time. I still got 10 minutes. It wouldn't have worked. Everyone would have been like, what happened to Andie? Yeah. I have my hair pinned back. I'm actually really proud of myself. I am not a braider, twister, hairstylist at all. Like aside from doing my own natural hair, but even that has only been within the past 5-6-ish years of like me taking care of it. Other than that, I am not but to go away, I will protect the hair. And so I like the first time I did this, I followed a tutorial on YouTube, and it turned out so good that I was like, I'm gonna do it again. With my favorite colors, I love purple. So Jackie said, but man, retrograde is over. Mars retrograde is over, so the tech issues should be too. I agree. I'm hoping that's really what it is. I really do. Like, I was like, I should be past all of that. Although we did have a very large storm. What night was it? It was like Friday Friday. That my internet was going in and out because my friend and I decided we were going to do the homework, the Game of Thrones homework that the head writer gave of like which episodes to rewatch. Because I love me some God. But I don't need to really watch certain parts of it again. Like, there's certain parts, and if you don't watch it, Jackie, it's okay, I won't ruin it. But there's certain parts I don't need to rewatch it. Just like I don't need to watch certain slave movies. And it was my friend to tell me, like, you don't have to watch them. Because I felt like, I don't know, do you get that feeling? I feel like it's my duty to watch these movies, to watch civil rights movies and documentaries about, activists and stuff like that. And so anything from our ancestry, I was like, I have to watch this. But it's so painful. And it's painful to watch and know that is somebody's history in your lineage. Like, that same friend, we went to go see, I want to say, it was Hidden Figures. Yeah, we went to go see Hidden Figures. And we were both sort of getting irritated because there were non-black people in the theater and they were laughing at like the jokes or what they considered to be jokes. And I realized it was because for us, this movie is history. Like, it's more like biofiction, because yes, this exact person in this exact space and time didn't happen, but it's based off of factual events. And we know at least that most of the scenes that they make when it has to do with segregation, with racism and all of that are things that did happen to people. It's just hard for me to watch. Like, I know it in my heart of hearts. I just don't need to watch it. Like, watching Roots with my parents, I mean, CGI wasn't on the point that it is now. Like, I remember seeing like LeVar Burton's face. I remember seeing the overseer in the back whipping him, but I don't have to see anything. Fast forward to, what was it, Birth of a Nation, and I had to see it all. Like, I really thought this man's back is like scarred up. If I'd ever seen him and got into a situation where I would see his back. So let's just put the hypothetical out there, Jackie. I'm having sex with him, okay? We we cross eyes and things are, he's feeling me and tell me, are you feeling me, feeling you? Like, that's what's happening. And then we get back to that hotel and we kissed and all that. And I'm like, can I just check your back for a second? Because that movie was just way too real. Like, there are scars I still think Denzel Washington has from, what's that, like, pretty much every action movie Denzel's ever been in. Like, let's just put it out there. Every action movie that Denzel has been in, I'm convinced those are his scars, and he has paid for the culture. Like, that I'm convinced. I'm sorry. Jackie said the last thing I watched that like hurt was the movie Detroit. Late, I know, but it just made me and my husband so angry. Detroit, I don't think I've seen it. Don't worry, I'm just as late. It bothers me when people are like, you have to see this. I'm like, I'll see it when I see it, okay? All right. I'm so behind on like TV shows usually, but movies, yeah. Who was in Detroit? That wasn't, oh my God, I almost was like, that wasn't Eminem's movie, right? No, M's was 8 Mile. Who was in Detroit? Was it a documentary? I'm riveted right now. Yeah, I watched the Sam Cooke documentary. Now, I blame myself completely because I am a Sam Cooke fanatic that I had to watch it. Hey, twin! I was telling Jackie, like, I thought I was going to have internet issues and connected early and then had no issues. So I was like, oh, it's just me and Jackie chitty chatting girlfriends. But, yeah, I was like, John Boyega and Anthony. Oh, okay. I think I did see it advertised. So, it made you guys angry. Please. Ooh. See, I'm that person. I don't like spoilers. Can you say what made you angry without spoiling it? Because now I have to watch it. But the Sam Cooke documentary had me just upset. Like, just upset. But I brought that on myself. But no, the last thing that I felt I didn't bring on myself was definitely Birth of a Nation. That I was like, I can't, like, I paused the movie talking about, like, movies that I felt I had a duty to watch being a Black person. And I just couldn't. Like, Birth of a Nation, I paused it. I remember feeling, like, so much anxiety. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get through the rest of this movie. I don't know how I'm going to watch it. Like, it just feels too real. And my friend was like, so don't watch it. Like, who's going to make you? Who's going to make you watch it? And I realized, you know, it's true. Who's good? Like, I don't have to watch it. And that doesn't make me any less Black or any less for the cause in not watching some of these movies. Because it's a little too real. So, Jackie said it was based off the podcast Rebellion in Detroit. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. I think I heard of, like, when it was being made. And I'm, like, in love with Anthony Mackie. Like, just give me, like, basically call yourself Biggie. Give me one more chance. Even though I've never had a chance before, Anthony. Give me one more chance. That was for him. Y'all ignore that. That was for him. Ooh, even Twin said the movie Detroit upset you too. Ooh, okay. If GOT wasn't coming on tonight, I'd watch it. You know what? I might watch it tomorrow because I'm ahead of schedule on, like, my trip planning schedule. Guys, I'm, like, obsessed with planning. I have this, like, checklist that I go through for myself, and they're actually, like, pages you can rip off. So this has basically lasted me, I'm pretty sure, over 10 years. But this thing, last night a DJ saved my life. That's what this thing does. Sorry, I know I kind of broke up the moment, but Twin, you cried? Okay, I'm gonna have to watch that in the day and set myself up for that because. But the Sam Cooke documentary, if you guys do watch it, I was convinced I was going to marry Sam Cooke. I was convinced I was going to marry Jim Brown. I was convinced I was going to marry Gene Kelly. Like, I grew up watching certain people, but not necessarily knowing that these people were, like, not that same age of watching them. And Sam Cooke is just, if you guys don't, like, know his actual story, the documentary's on Netflix. It's really good because there's a lot of people that didn't know how much of an activist he was. A lot of people that didn't know how much he did for the Black music industry. It's sad that they basically just made him into this, 1950s singer that whites loved, and he had a lot more going for him. It's really, really beautiful, but it's, what's gonna come up, because it's that era. He died when he was 33 of mysterious circumstances. So just laying that out there, because I mean, it is a documentary, so you guys can find any of this online, but I'm just laying that out there for people because it is heavy. It is definitely heavy. And I had to, like, set myself up. Like, I made sure that I had something that would be funny right before and funny right after. And then dumb me watched Someone Great on Netflix, which is also really great. Oh my gosh. If you guys want to see a cute movie with, like, a unexpected ending, really, it's adorable. And I love Gina Rodriguez, even though everyone seems to be against her right now. But anyways, I digress. I got past 8:30. Okay, cool. So, female orgasms. is the topic. I'm excited because I want to have this discussion. I know I should probably wait till the end, but I don't care. I want to have this discussion about the squirting. Am I, are y'all okay with, because, okay, I'm convinced, even though, yes, I have squirted many a time, I still am not convinced that I'm not peeing. Like, to me, that's what it feels like. And it's very hard to reconcile that with your brain. Like, I can't. So, Twin, you said I can't do it. And honestly, I remember doing it once when I was in my 20s. And then I didn't do it again until my 30s and by myself. And the reason why I say by myself is because I feel like most women, like, their first time squirting is by themselves, because you're able to just let stuff go. Hey, Natasha. So Natasha says it's not pee, but I've heard and read studies that said that there are traces of urine in it. So it's almost similar to the way that a man would ejaculate, because a man ejaculates and urinates from that same area, and there could be traces of it for him as well. That's pretty much the last study that I read. That's what they basically tried to say, you know what? It's exactly the same as how a guy might have it. It's just there'll be slight traces of it. Twin says, but it has urine in it. So it's I don't know. I feel like most women who feel they can't squirt, who've never done it, it's also reconciling that feeling. Like, because I mean, everyone says it's the feeling of, like, going to the bathroom, thinking that you're about to go to the bathroom when some guy is, like, eating you out, or when you're fucking. Like, that's the last thing any girl is gonna give into. And Twin said it's coming from the bladder. That's the thing. Like, it throws me off, because I've read so many different studies of, like, no, it is definitely, female ejaculation, and some people say no, it definitely is not. And then now it's kind of like, well, it sort of is, because it has traces of the same sort of proteins, but also certain traces of urine. I feel like, I don't know. I know as women we can go back and forth on it, but for me at least, I kind of feel like it is a little bit. So it's weird for me to, like, I don't actually see squirting as cumming. And the only reason why I say that, and you guys can weigh into, like, what is your definition of cumming when it comes to being a woman? Is it squirting? Is it, a feeling, your orgasm? Like, what is it for you? For me, cumming is, like, my orgasm that's just gonna, like, wash over me. And usually it means I sort of have a mini ejaculation, but that's from, like, liquid from my vagina completely. So I feel like that's me coming, because I feel like coming is having an orgasm, and that's me having an orgasm. When I squirt, I'm not necessarily having an orgasm, or it's happening right after my orgasm, or, like, right before, but it's never like, oh, I squirted and I'm good, because I can come, my definition of it, I can come without squirting hundreds of times. I don't know if it's necessarily been hundreds, but hey, Sapio says, evening, y'all. Twin, you said, right, it doesn't come from the vaginal opening. Yeah, it doesn't, because I know for myself, when I come, my definition of it, it's definitely from the vaginal opening. Definitely. So Natasha said, it's interesting. I've gone to the restroom before intimacy, and 5 seconds later, getting oral, I let out this huge puddle. That's happened to me too, Natasha. And that's why I used to be, like, sort of wary about it. But when you think about it, I compare it to getting an ultrasound. I get ultrasounds very regularly, and they tell you, like, drink 8 glasses of water up to an hour before the appointment. So that means that anything I drink up to that hour, within an hour, I will need to pee. But if I've been drinking every hour before that, so let's say I'm going to the doctor at 4, I need to finish drinking by 3 p.m. If I've been drinking at 12, 1, and 2, they're going to hit me at different times. So even if you've gone to pee 5 seconds before, it doesn't mean that, one, your bladder may still not have certain traces of it in there. It also doesn't mean that you still don't, like, it's still not urine. But I'm not knocking what you go through. I'm just saying that's what I sort of tried to reconcile with my brain, because yes, I've had where I've gone to the bathroom, emptied my bladder, felt like literally I can't do anything, and then gone into my bedroom, and within, I would say, a 2-minute span, I'm squirting. And then the joke is I will squirt and get up and have to go to the bathroom. So I think you're right. It is interesting. And for people who have or have not, I just wonder if they care. And with a lot of the guys who just came in, hey Anwar, Sapio, I said hi. But what do you guys feel? Like, do you think that a female squirting is completely separate liquid? Do you think that it is peeing? Do you think that there are traces of it in it? Because I always wondered, there's a lot of guys I know nowadays, especially even just memes on Instagram, that are like, yo, squirt in my face and I'm gonna keep eating you out, it doesn't matter. And I'm like, are they okay with this? Like, has R. Kelly changed y'all? Has Boondocks changed you? Has Dave Chappelle changed you? Like, I'm just like, y'all okay with me peeing your face? Thank you, Sapio. So you know what I love? I love it because you just gave me the answer. This is what I love. It may have traces of pee, but I don't give a fuck. That's all I wanted to know. Because I'm not even judging. I'm literally just like, I want to make sure we're on the same page. Because most of the time, black men and women are not on the same page. And I may think, yeah, it's okay for you. And you're like, abso-fucking-lutely not. And then I look red-faced. So, I thank you, Sapio. I thank you. If there was an award that I could give out, there was a Different Truth Awards, you would get an award right now. Just for honesty. I don't give a fuck. That may just be the motto of, like, tonight's show. It may have traces of pee, but I don't give a fuck. That's like me when food drops on the floor. And then you get that one person who's like, you know, studies show that there is no such thing as the 5-second rule. Bitch, it's already digested. Why are you talking to me? I dropped it for like 4 seconds. Guys, this only happens when I'm at home because I know how clean my house is. Hey, Vashcon. You might be in it. That's totally cool. Might be in and out of the chat. Anwar says, I've never had a girl squirt on my face. Yeah, I don't have an issue with it. Thank you. It's only because Sapio beat you and had the best line with the I don't give a fuck. You little stupid ass ignorance with you. Like, you're just like, I'm not with the ignorance. I don't fuck with ignorance. Okay? Sapio, I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior. Right? You always got to thank your Lord and Savior first. Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. It's so true. And then at some point, I mean, at one point for us, when we used to get awards, it was like, and my kids, why aren't y'all in bed? Oh man, but yeah, that's good to know though, that there are some black men out there who are like, and what? I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I just need to know. But yeah, so squirting is an interesting subject because I feel like I see it a lot more now in porn and in it sort of being expected. And I know not every man is like, no, you have to squirt or I don't want to sleep with you, but it's mentioned so much, like, I'm gonna do it to make you squirt. I'm gonna do it to make you squirt. And there's a lot of women out there who don't. or who can't. And I wonder if it makes them self-conscious, kind of in a similar way to some guys who maybe don't orgasm when they are receiving head. So I feel like has it become this like new thing, this new fad of like needing women to squirt, or not needing, but you know what I mean, like really loving the fact that you just made this girl squirt, and now it's so mainstream that women feel like, oh great, I have this new thing. A new thing I have to achieve? I have to try to get my okay, so I have to try to let me write this down. Oh no, it's okay. I will find it. Okay. So first, I should know how to suck dick well. Oh wait, no, that's proper English. Suck dick good. Then I think it's arch my back while my cervix is being hit. Then yeah. Have my legs behind my head. Have him pushing on my thighs so that I look like a human pretzel. That's it, right? That's it. Oh, wait. Be okay with your nasty tasting spunk in my mouth, on my tits, on my face, ... There's probably some other places too. I'm just going to add them in there. And then I have to squirt. Like, just, the list is long. It's too long. It's too long. I was never good with to-do lists because the longer it got, the more I knew everything after 4 was falling right off. I'm not paying attention. So Anwar said, my only problem with squirting is now the wet spot's way bigger. Ooh, Anwar, I'm there with you, because even sometimes for me, I'm like, I don't even want to squirt because it's gonna be a wet spot. But I need to I used to have a waterproof blanket. Used to, because somebody took it. But anyways, I used to have a waterproof blanket, and that thing was amazing because you literally just laid it down, did what you like to do, and then put it in the washing machine, and that's it. Sapio said, as long as you're coming, I'm happy. It's Easter weekend, so you decided to be the pastor? Okay. All right then. Go ahead. Be pastor. Be Pastor Sapio. B said, some guys want to make a woman squirt as a badge of honor despite not knowing if a woman can do it or not. That's my thing. Like, just, can she? But how do you know what else too though, ladies? Like, how can he approach that? Because I know if someone asks me, like, do you squirt? Even though I know that they don't mean it in a bad way, it's me thinking of like, no, I don't, and stop asking me. But then it's like, how else can a guy ask a question like that? Or do you just sort of wait if she provides the information? Is that it? Twin, you said, I can honestly say I used to be envious of it, but after seeing it so many times, I'm over it. Okay. Vashkan said, but a lot of men want to make sure a woman can have as many intense orgasm experiences as possible, including if she can squirt. That I do understand. I definitely understand that, because it's the same as a woman just wanting to suck your dick until you come, because that come is the validation of, okay, I did really well. That's based, like, I pleasured that person. So I definitely get that. And Jackie said, that's what I think too. And said, I'm glad I can't, so now I'm one of the unique ones that can. Sapio said, some of these dudes are making these girls piss themselves for a badge of honor. That's my thing. Like, some of these girls are thinking, oh, okay, well, this article says that, you know, it's supposed to feel like I have to go to the bathroom, so maybe that's what this is. And just peeing on people, when people like myself, and even what Natasha described, like going to, and this she's absolutely right. Going to the bathroom, completely emptying your bladder, and within like 3 minutes, you're squirting, and you're like, okay, no, this is it's clearer. There's no scent to it, and yeah, I'm just like, this is a. Not to say that there's scent to my urine. I drink my water. Okay. I drink my water. No, I'm joking. But yeah, it's so I understand one, the confusion, because hello, I squirt and I'm confused. And I understand the miseducation of it, because most of us are sort of new, I feel like, in the foray of figuring out if black people squirt. Yes, I've watched porn, but most of the porn I've watched is like non-black people squirting. I feel like it's new for me to see it in porn, not in a bad way. I love it, especially amateur porn. But yeah, to then have these discussions of, are black women squirting, and how are they feeling about it suddenly being like this. Like Vashkon said, it is a badge of honor, but it also feels a little pressure, I think, for some women who are judging themselves. Obviously, they already would, like, they would have self-esteem issues, and I do too, so it's no judgment. But yeah, I just feel like, even though for some men like yourselves, that it is a badge of honor, some of these women just are not being educated, and they don't understand. So instead, what brings me to my question, do you consider your squirt your orgasm? No, because like what I was saying before, for me, coming is synonymous with orgasm, and for me, my orgasm is like my full body. I have no control over anything, barely can remember this moment, let alone my name, like feeling like the northern lights are coursing through my body. To me, that's my orgasm. When I squirt, it can happen around that. It can happen because of that. But I feel like it's more kind of like a secondary reaction, because sometimes it will happen because of my orgasm. So sometimes it could be a product of it, but then sometimes it's not. It's weird. For me, at least, I don't consider it part of that. He said, I haven't had a woman squirt in my face, but I've had my face looking like I'm eating a melted ice cream cone. Creamers need our love and support as well. Yeah, I am definitely a creamer. Like, definitely. It actually scares me a little bit, because I always thought, as I got older, and I'm still obviously growing, but, being a Flintstone kid, 10 million strong and growing. Anyways, I learned, like, as you get older, a woman can go into vaginal dryness, and I'm like, well, it feels like it's going the opposite, because the creamers everything around me. And why I said waterproof, taking notes. Creamers for the win, really. I don't consider squirting an orgasm. Contrary wise, I do consider creaming an orgasm. That's from Jackie, and I agree with you, Jackie. Like, squirting for me is not an orgasm, but creaming, that's an orgasm for me. Like, that's because it's linked. It's the indication, at least for myself, not for every woman, but for me, it's the indication that, like, you doing what you're supposed to be doing. Like, I'm happy. I'm very, very happy. People said, fuck the shit out of her till her body gives her way, then you know if she can squirt. That's hard for me, because I've had this shit fucked out of me, and I've gotten like full body orgasms, and I haven't squirted, and I would still consider that amazing sex, but like it just hasn't been with a person. And even the first time that I did with a person, it wasn't even penetrative sex. It was fingering and nipple play. So, like, I was shocked. I was like, what is happening? My body just gave way on me. V said, I know that some women squirt via an anal orgasm. Yes. Oh. Okay, wait. Do you mean, like, regular squirting from an anal orgasm, or squirting, like, anal squirting? Because, I mean, there is that, too. So then what is it then, the squirt? I mean, for me, I don't know. It's just a reaction that can happen sometimes. For me, at least, twin. I don't know for any of the other ladies that have squirted. Maybe you can comment, but for me, it's just a sometimes reaction. I don't even know how else to describe it. Callie says squirting usually happens at the same time as an orgasm for some of us. Yes. So we mentioned before that like it could be a product of that. It could be happening before, during, or after. But I've had times where I squirted and to me I didn't orgasm. So, but that's again, I think everybody kind of has their own slight individual definition of what it is to come as a woman, because I feel like the word come itself was a very masculine word. It's used for men, and we had a clear understanding that coming meant he ejaculates, whereas with women it's like there's so many different ways for women to orgasm that what is coming. I always wonder, because I'm thinking if I'm with a certain partner and they think coming is one thing, and I'm with a certain partner and they think coming is squirting, it's a lot. It changes our expectations in a way. Hey Stacy. I read that the bladder fills up with liquid that contains prostatic acid, phosphorus. When aroused, all women will have this liquid, but not all will expel it. Yes. We were just more, it was just the idea that for some of us, or not for some of us, the ones of us who have, Natasha says a lot of the porn squirts look fake. Natasha, I feel like some of them probably are, but I mean, everything for media to me is fake. Like it's giving you what you want to see, not necessarily what's real. So it's just like watching porn stars with anal sex. Like people think, oh yeah, that's easy, like they were just having sex and then you go straight to anal, when really there's a process of going through that. Twin said yes, we can experience dryness during menopause, which I've heard too. So I thought for me it was sort of told like, okay, once you hit 35, then it could slowly start to get drier and drier, and I was like, it's doing the opposite. Ooh. Ooh. Vashka said squirting vaginally from anal. I've done that. That's why for me, I'm like, that to me is me coming. That to me is me orgasming. When if I'm having sex with a guy, it would be creaming. If I'm by myself, it will squirt right out. And even doing like anal masturbation, it will squirt right out. So for me, that's coming. That the like what squirting is, what happens when I'm squirting, I don't feel like, yeah, I don't feel like it's the same thing. I don't know. And I think most of the women feel that way. I don't know. What do the guys feel as men? Because I feel like if it's if we feel like it's different, you guys might also have an idea of what you think it would be. I don't know. My mouse isn't working. I don't know why that sounded so funny. Get my keyboard then. Stacy said, for me, it's when I have multiple O's. Ooh, there's that too. Although multiple O's, I mean, if I'm lucky. But when I do, oh my God, that's, and where I was saying, like, for guys, what is your definition of a woman coming? If you hear a woman coming, what do you think of? Are you thinking of squirting? Are you thinking of the orgasms, multiple O's? Like, what are you thinking of? I'm just slowly like reading through. waiting for my thing to update. Why is the mouse not working? Why doesn't my mouse love me, y'all? See, of course there had to be like some sort of technical difficulty for me. Yeah. Natasha said, just because a woman can squirt doesn't mean that every man can make her. Girl, you that is a t-shirt right there. Just because she can squirt doesn't mean every man can make her. And then you know what? That's pretty much just the notion of pleasure. Like, just because a person can come, can orgasm and all of that, doesn't mean that you can make her do that. And that's why I feel like everybody, especially women, you need to know how to please yourself first before you're going to ask some man to hit a G-spot that you've never hit before. How's he supposed to know where it is? You don't even know where it is. So, yeah. Sapio said, when my lady squirts, I can always tell her orgasm from her squirting orgasm. Okay, so you see it as like, they're both orgasms, just in different ways. Twin said, I have multiple orgasms, that's for sure. And Sapio said, it's much more intense, and a lot of times it's during higher drunk sex. Ooh, I definitely want to have an episode about sex, drugs, and alcohol. And just talking about the different effects that some of us have who partake in drinking and having sex, or, you know, narcotics. The weed, the ganja. Anwar said, the orgasm sounds, the walls flexing, the earthquake, depends on the woman. Very true. So to you, they just all fall under, that's when she's coming. And V said, when a woman tells me she's about to come, I think she's going to have anywhere from a mild orgasm to a chain combo of them bitches. How her body reacts shows me where in the spectrum it is. I like that. Hey, mademoiselle. Hey, hey. And Natasha said, that's exactly how I feel. So that's interesting, because I feel like for the women, we're very specific on like what we define coming as, whereas the men are more like, to me, it's just you're having an orgasm, you're feeling pleasure, and that's great. And it's just the different types, and maybe like Sapio said, certain ones could be depending on, you know, if she had a great night out or stuff like that. I get that. That's interesting to me, because I would think like guys might have been more specific, not because of anything. I just figure like women would be like, well, you know, we're all so different, so we accept. But most of us are like, nope, this is what I mean for mine, and but I like that, because now it's making me think and almost change my thinking of like, you know what, squirting can be considered an orgasm. It's just a different type of orgasm. But it's just weird to me because I feel like there's squirting, and then there's what I feel when it's like multiple O's or creaming. Like that's, I can't even, like it's so high. I can't. So I think that's why for me squirting isn't that big a deal. But I would think for other women where it is part of your orgasm, and like you were saying, Natasha, that yeah, definitely it's an orgasm. Jackie said, Sapio, high sex is life. Jackie, Kimmy, it is everything. Oh my God. I honestly feel like I was telling Sapio earlier, like, if my ex had told me that sex on weed was like that, I would have tried it years ago. Like, because I was like with somebody who smoked, and I did not smoke. I didn't really start till my I want to say like around my 30s. So either 30 or like just after 30. But yeah, I didn't start till then. But yeah, Twin, you said I don't get high, so I guess I'll never feel that kind of sex. It's just, it's not that you'll never feel it, but it's like, you just let go of everything. And I don't know how it is for a guy, but as a woman, like literally not thinking of a goddamn thing. Like, it's special. And feeling oh my God, it was like, I was like feeling colors. I felt colors. Like it was, some of the best orgasms I've ever had is sex with weed. But yes, I definitely want a whole episode about that. Sapio said, every woman has a different combination to how they orgasm. I feel the same way for squirting. You gotta have the right combination of stimulation and ambiance together there if she's comfortable. Anwar said, sex on weed feels like space travel when you come. Anwar, that's really, like, you feel like you're floating, but it really does feel like outer space. It does. It really does. But twin, I do that naturally. Don't need inhibitors on that. The thing is, I don't know. As a woman, there's always stuff that's in the back of my head. Like, there's something about having sex with marijuana that's like, I don't think about obligations. I don't think about, like, if he met me for lunch, I don't even remember, like, you were supposed to go back to work. Like, I'm not thinking about anything. And I find sometimes with women, like, we will plan stuff in our head. We'll think like, okay, he only has 45 minutes for lunch, so we definitely can't do this because it could take him too long to finish, or it'll take me too long to finish. So we definitely, like, we think of all these things and plan all these things. But the sex you get from, like, I can't even explain it. It's just, see, Kimmy was like, you sure do feel colors. Like, oh, Natasha said, my orgasms have come after squirting. Okay. So it's like the squirting is kind of the precursor to, like, everything. But yeah, I remember, and especially with riding, I used to be so self-conscious riding because I was like, you get the best view. As a man, you get the best view. But as a woman, if parts of that view bother you, if your stomach bothers you, if your boobs bother you, if your chin bothers you, it is the, like, you see it, everything. And the funny thing is, the reason that part of the reason I had that self-conscious nature is that black men, I don't know if American men are the same, but I know Caribbean men, when they get together, they will roast women. Like, roast them. Like, literally sit around and be like, oh, Brenda, which Brenda? Oh, you know the one with the flat ass? And she got that ugly ass scar on her leg. Like, that whole stand-up, I remember that Cat Williams did when he was like, oh, the girl was like, oh, my stretch marks. It didn't come from nowhere. Like, it's not like we all just decided, like, oh, black men hate stuff like this. And yes, we're judging it on the people that we date, but just as black men would judge certain characteristics of black women on the ones that they date too. But my ex would sit there with his friends and, like, chat about women, and I'm like, oh my god, my arms are doughy, oh my stomach is, oh my god, oh god. And then it's hard to then, you know, be in a space with just that person and they're like, oh my god, yes, ride me, I just want to see all of you. No, you better shut that. Like, you know what? You better literally turn off the electricity in this entire house. You ain't seeing shit. Like, you ain't seeing nothing. Just let's have a blackout. That's the only way you're gonna get sex. With a blackout. Oof. Jackie said the only time weed got Trump was the night I popped E. Jackie, please save that story for I'm promising you, girl. I want it to be next month, but it's going to be called Sex, Drugs, and Alcohol. And we're going to be talking because that too. I also have my own experience. I have an experience with a couple of stuff that I will share then. I won't share it now, but yeah. Twin says, American black men do that too with their friends. And I'm not saying that black women don't, fellas. Not saying that at all. But at least for myself, growing up around black men and hearing the way that they talked about women, not to say women didn't either, but I guess I was kind of used to the fact that, you know, women talk, and I still had a positive influence in my mother being like, you're beautiful, I don't care what anybody says, like, your hair, your skin, whatever. And she would say that all the time. And then seeing my aunts, I was like, well, they're who I want to be. I don't want to be anybody else, and they look like this. So I was fine with that. But when it came to black men that I would be around, I was just always like, well, you're saying that girls who are too tall ain't cool, and you saying girls who got scars ain't cool, and girls who got acne, and girls who ain't done their head, and girls whose head is wrapped, and girls whose head ain't wrapped. I was like, Okay, wait, so I gotta add to the list. Wait, okay. Maybe I should just make another list. Okay. What was it now? Oh, this is... Okay, this is it. Okay, so don't be too tall. Don't be too short. Don't dress like a slut. Don't dress like a nut. Like, I wasn't good at it. Like, I was like, how do I reconcile that? And then, like, once your boys go home, you want to have sex with me? Why? I am like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Like, I'm disgusting. I'm hideous. I am the beast. Like, from what you just described with your friends. So that was, for me, that was the hardest thing. Sapio said, I don't really allow that shit, because if you was fucking her like that shit at the time, thank you. Because half the time, you're right, half the time these men are talking about women that they've either been with or who've scorned them. And the ones who don't are not talking about them like that. I mean, because I have sat with men who can, black men, who can have a conversation about somebody who hurt them without making it general, without making it like about black women, without making it about her body or any physical feature. They can easily get to the heart of it. Just like in the flip side, I know a lot of women who've dogged out men for being short or like just many different things. So I know it's across the board, but at least for my story, in feeling self-conscious about riding, it was that. So it helped so much in getting my, and the thing I liked too about it, twin, another thing is that when I would have sex on alcohol, so let's say I was tipsy or whatever, I wasn't totally aware of my faculties. Like, you're not fully, and there's always parts the next day that I'm like, we're a little fuzzy, I don't quite remember. With weed, I usually remember what happened. Like, I remember everything that happened. I remember all the choices I made in the moment that I was making it. It was never like waking up the next day to be like, so after Sandra's party, like, how did I get here? There's never moments like that. It's always like, why didn't we stop at McDonald's though between the time of leaving Sandra's party and coming home? Because I remember us talking about it, but then we didn't stop there. Oh yeah, because that one was closed. We don't want to drive to the next one. Like, that's, so I feel like when I'm having sex with marijuana, I'm more aware of the choices I'm making, and the person that I'm with doesn't have to worry about like if I'm consenting because I'm under an influence. Anwar said, men say a lot of shit around their friends that they don't really care about. And that's the thing. I had to really, I know it sounds stupid, and it's not out of judgment. I had to really understand that in the same way that I can make a joke about, I don't know, Indian guys. And my background, I have Indian in me, that I'm choosing something that's neutral. But if I could make fun of them and then end up dating, falling in love with, and marrying an Indian guy. So I get that. Kind of reminds me of like your porn choices. Because again, just recently had a conversation about it. You can have certain porn choices and not necessarily want that in real life. That's kind of how I see it. Because most of the celebrities that I'd be like, yeah, that's who I'm marrying and I'm going to have all of their babies, that's not the guy that I'm looking for. Like, I'm looking for the connection, and that's what most of us, when you really think about it, that's what you get off of that person, whether it's the best friend that you've known or it's like some guy at the club that just stands out from everybody else. And with the men, exactly the same thing. Yeah, it's that connection. It's not just what they look like. So I had to really understand, like, get over the female part, like the self-esteem, the ego part that is like, well, I want you to think that my body is perfect. Like, I had to get over that and see black men as like humans, and then realize, okay, they basically just do the same thing as us. It has nothing to do with me, unless somebody actually says like, Andie, them shoulders. Until they actually say something like that, I have to realize that just because you're talking about a certain thing, especially for black men, in a situation like that where a a lot of them at a young age, I feel a lot of you guys had to keep up with that bravado. Like it would have been, yes, it would have been brave for you to be like, guys, I am totally fine with women of any height. But who's doing that? Like you want to be a part of the group. Just like with girls, there's situations when we were younger where you might have pretended that, you know, you I don't know, stuffed your bra to make your breasts bigger or whatever, like different things. There's just things that we all do to fit in with the crowd. And as Black people, we also have that added thing of like, it's not just fitting in with the crowd, but it's fitting in with our culture, fitting in with all of us being united under this one thing of being Black, and then the subcategories of being a Black man around Black men and being a Black woman around Black women. So I had to remember that when it came to guys. But as I got older, this is obviously a relationship I had in my 20s. As I got older, I'm not around men that are like that. The men that I'm around on a regular basis, like I said, they're able to like differentiate. Thank you, Sapio. Sapio said, I like your shoulders. And where I said some are fronting and some don't know. It's true. Twin said, fuck those dudes that say that bullshit. That's when I feel like that's when I was younger. And I see you wrote now, Twin, that's true. I feel like nowadays, as men get older, and I say it because I used to say it when I was younger all the time. I remember one time I told my mom I was going to my boyfriend's house, and she's like, wow, you didn't lie. I'm like, Mom, as I get older, I'm just too lazy to lie. And I feel like, I'm sorry, men, I'm not even knocking you for it, but I feel like it's just like, I'm just too tired to lie. It's so much upkeep to like lie and cheat on somebody. It's a lot. It's a lot to remember and keep track of and like schedule and pay for. I think sometimes as men get older, they're just like, nobody got time for all that. 2 wives. Like, I already got one wife who is annoyed by me half the time. I'm gonna make it 2 now. So most of them are like, yeah, I'd cheat if I had the energy. I'm tired. I'm tired all the time. Like, Twin said, exactly. Stay single for me. I don't know. I still feel like I would love a business partner. I know that sounds, for some of you guys, you might think, oh my God, it's not a love story. But honestly, at the end of the day, I just want somebody that like financially we are on the same page, like how we save and spend and stuff like that. We are equally on the same page, and then everything else just partnerships, like 50-50. So that's what I'd like. I just want a 50-50 partnership, and if we can find love, great. If we can't, I literally told one of my friends, I was like, if I can't find love, then I would rather have like a Black female empowered commune. Like, bunch of my friends and I buy a house, we help each other babysit with our children and share in the financial responsibility, but also help each other when we need to. Like, I was like, and still have our own lives and still be able to have sex with whoever you want, because it's just your friends. You ain't married to them. You just bought a house together. That's all it is. You just bought property together. It's like, I'd rather that, because it's not to say I don't want love. I just want that to be the icing. But the cake, like being able to afford just life as it is right now, I'll take the partnership. I'll take that, because I love movies that show anybody that's like 60 and above. Those are like my favorites. And most of the ones I watch nowadays, when they're really starting to show, you know, real characters as they get older, as they enter another phases of their life, most of them are like, look, most of these movies, if you notice, are older men and women, and their kids think, oh my God, they're having a love affair. And they're like, I mean, sort of, but I really just want someone to just be with and hang with. And most of them are like, yeah, a spouse passed away or they never got with somebody, but you just want someone to hang out with and like actually watch that Netflix and chill. Like, actually hit the okay when it says, are you still watching? Like, and yes, I know that as we get like senior citizens, the rise of STDs with senior citizens has gotten very high. Doesn't necessarily mean that they are having more sex. It just means they're having more unprotected sex. But yeah, I feel like Oh my gosh. Kimmy. Life in Toronto requires us to have a business partnership because rent, mortgage is stupid. Like I basically see it as I pay to not be troubled by my parents. Hey, mom and dad, I hope you're not watching this. But yeah, I pay like not to be troubled because rent is crazy. Like rent is like rent is absolutely insane. So I get it. And Twin, you said that sounds ideal. Anwar says that sounds dope actually. Like I just feel like a black collective of like black people owning land, even if it's land and we all have houses and it's just like, you know what I mean? Like families taking care of each other back how we used to, but like without politics and people hurting each other and stuff like that. I was like, at least if it was with my female friends, you know, some of my friends are single mothers and stuff like that. I'm like, it'd be perfect. Can you imagine? Like that, like literally we live in the same house or on the same plot of land, and I'm like, yeah, just, you know, tell little Bobby just walk on over. Like, we're here. You have a community. You have, because it takes a village, and it has always taken a village with our culture. It's always taken a village. Like, we've all had people in our lives, from extended family to people who are like, you know, friends, family. Like, we know that it takes a village. We know that it's not just the family that you're born into. So in my old age, that's what I want. I want to be around my friends. I want to help them out. I want to know that they can help me out. I want to know that, you know what I mean? Like, someone got the hydro bill, and it's not about me looking for a partner to do that. And also, it's not feeling like I'm labeled a gold digger for wanting that, because times is hard. Shit is just getting more and more expensive, and we already know that we are at the bottom of the totem pole as black people. So I just, like Rhea said, rent is crazy everywhere. Like, we're getting to the point of being like London, especially in the UK, but the UK has been expensive, which is why they have that, like, initially had that tax to drive into the city, which you guys don't know this, but here in Toronto, our mayor was pushing for that too, to have a tax when you drive into the city. And because it's just, everywhere's expensive. Oh, Jesus. All I have is like, I have like old songs in my head because I was talking about it earlier. The Sam Cooke documentary just has me thinking about how certain songs just still resonate today. Just, ugh. Kimmy said, I'm looking now, and the way things are set up, so I'm ready to take on one of the gargoyles in my DMs, right? Like, people are actually, especially like minorities, people are actually ready to, I shouldn't say actually ready, people are actually creating relationships out of rent and living space. And it blows my mind that, like, it's gotten so bad that men and women would rather, like, give their bodies to a stranger to live in the city. Like, just to be able to stay in the city in a basic ass apartment, not even like a big time, like, downtown looking at the lake type of thing. It's literally like a basement basic apartment. And I said that Kwanzaa word, I can't remember, that means we in this together. Oh, that's gonna hurt me now. I'll try and be back. Okay, V, no problem. Take care. Give Dad a hug for me. Hey, Sultry. Happy Easter. I know for some of you guys, happy Easter, happy Passover. If not, happy 420, because it was 420 this weekend. It's not Nia, is it? No, Nia I think was purpose. I'm bad, y'all, with Kwanzaa words. We in this together. And my mouse, for some reason, is not working. And if I would have to, like, get up, and I'm lazy. I don't want to get up. I don't want to get up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. I know, it's grow up, but I just felt like changing that. Let's see. if I can fix my mouse. I doubt it. Ujima. Thank you, Sapio. Sapio for the win. Pastor Sapio came through on Easter Sunday. That's what it is. Okay. Pastor Sapio. It's Ujima. We really are. We really are in this together. Collective work and responsibility. Ooh, y'all. When I was younger, just a quick story because we were talking about it. I decided like, ooh, Kwanzaa, I'm going to practice it because it is a Black holiday. This is what we're supposed to be doing. And realized it was like around my first lesson of realizing how many things are very specific to African Americans, because Caribbean people were like, I'm sorry, you gonna do what? Christmas done. Help me take down the Christmas tree, man. What is celebrating Kwanzaa? Is African, no? Like, whoo, yeah. Needless to say, that Kwanzaa was the shortest I'd ever had. Twin, he really is. He's preaching tonight. He's really... If I had a church organ, I would play it for you. Because I can't play the piano. But if I had a church organ, I'd play it for you. And I said, see, Black people, work to that. We can work it out. We can work it. Like, anything we put our minds to, we can do. Kelly said, LOL, that was my first holiday as a child. See, Caribbean people, we don't... Well, I shouldn't say for other islands, but I'm pretty sure, at least with Trinidad, we don't do Kwanzaa. So there'd be more like Christian holidays and Hindu holidays, with it being a large Indian population. But my mom and I were actually talking about that too, because in the Caribbean, the amounts of holidays that have in the Caribbean, Lord Jesus, the amount of things they get to celebrate. I just get vexed being here because we don't really get that much. Unless you're working for the government, you don't get a holiday. Because Easter was like good. My work technically gives you Good Friday. I don't know if you get Easter. Do you get Easter Monday? No, it's just Good Friday. And then government gets Good Friday and Easter Monday. And I think certain businesses will get both. In the UK, like you get time off. Schools get... Why can't I get time off for Jesus' resurrection? Like, that's rude. I want to stay in bed. I want to stay in bed from Thursday to Tuesday for the Lord. But apparently I can't. Apparently I gotta go to work. I'll go to work. The funny thing is, guys, every time that song used to play, I know, but you guys know I sidebar all the time. Every time that song used to play in like a 90s movie, I knew it was gonna be fire. Like, especially at the beginning of the movie, if I heard that, I knew this movie was, I go to work. Like, I knew this is gonna be a hit. It may have a Wayans brother in it, but it's still gonna be a hit. Like, and you guys think I'm joking, but I'm telling you the truth. Like, I was like, do y'all hear that? This movie's gonna be fire. It's gonna be fire. Yeah, we were and where Kumo D was like, yo, see, I think that's why, sadly, guys, the reason I got into hip-hop, there are two reasons. One, my older brother, who I worshipped, loved hip-hop, so I had to love hip-hop. And two, the men that were in hip-hop back in the day, like some big dark skinned man with, like, I felt like Beyonce's Formation, like Jackson 5 nostrils, dark ass skin with the big ass lips, just eloquently putting their thoughts and emotions together and making you feel like you were right there. That was me. Like, I'm being all about communication. I was in love. I was in love with some of these. Ugh. And especially with New York being so close, and 3 of my mother's brothers at the time lived in New York, so we went there a lot. which actually, the funny thing is, the brother that I worshipped, he was like a big West Coast fan. But yeah, that's why I have that's why I say all the time, like, people think I'm joking, but I'm like, I could have been a physicist, could have been a marine biologist if I just clear up all these song lyrics in my head. I just clear them all up, and the different instrumentals that somehow make songs, because I kicked off a got reggae theme that, I'm sorry, I'm literally gonna be busting out in Jamaica all the time. I told my friends, I'm like, before we go into the party, we gotta do the got Jamaican theme, because Big Daddy Kane, Kimmy, back in the day, not even just Big Daddy Kane, just because we're Canadian, might show Fresh West. Looking like a tall glass of dark chocolate milk. God damn. Big Daddy Kane, I was just like, just say whatever. Say whatever. Like, and then they would play, I think the other thing too is, like, we were part of that was an amazing era of these beautiful black men rapping over beats and samples from an era that our parents understood. So there's a lot of things that I got to play because my mom was like, "Ooh, girl, you know nobody," ooh, right? And then I'd be there getting wet over Big Daddy Kane. What was this episode about again? Big Daddy, what? Hey y'all. He was beautiful. Oh, he was beautiful. I loved a big black man. I loved KRS-One for his insane fucking knowledge and just his flows for me were just so eloquent and just a perfect understanding of, like, a founder of the genre, but also showing for myself and for others being like Caribbean American, like showing our influence as well, being like from the ground up. Because really and truly, I said to a friend the other day, I go, watching documentaries, like we were mentioning earlier, you guys missed it, but I came on a little early, and we were talking about black movies that I kind of felt like I had a duty to watch, like slave movies and stuff like that. I also felt a little removed from it because I felt like that wasn't my family history. Caribbean history, yes, we did go through slavery, but it was a different history, so it was hard for me to relate to some of the documentaries or stories I would watch. I remember watching a documentary, I think about a year ago or 2 years ago, that was called Windrush, and it was about the first ship to leave Jamaica in the 40s or 50s going to England. And I cried watching it because it was one of the first documentaries I'd ever seen about my experience, meaning a Caribbean experience, something that related to my parents that they could tell me about. Because my parents couldn't tell me about Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. They saw it in the same way that I would see it. They saw it on a TV screen. They saw it from another country. And they saw it from a country that had already gained its independence and already had a black prime minister and was running its own government. So it's a very different experience for us. It's not to say that we don't share in that shared pain of us all being black, but it was KRS-One and that era of hip hop sort of just coming up, especially, I'm talking specifically to the East, but seeing our influence in the music, even if it was, Jamaican influence, I still consider it our, because we are all one in the Caribbean. But yeah, it was it was a big deal. It was a big deal. Twin said, okay, so Sapio said KRS-One is king. So I was just gonna say KRS-One, Public Enemy, and Far Side were my groups. Oh Lord, right? Too Far Side. Y'all gonna make my neighbors hate me. Like, I'm gonna end the show just to play the Anwar said, I have a theory. And most of the best rappers Caribbean. Not all, but most. I lean a little into that. I lean, but I would go. I could go on because I also feel our music is culturally appropriated. But, anyways, I actually had, the funny thing is, one of my first, like when I went on Tumblr, one of the first times after like writing my stories and posting them, I had an argument with somebody who was like, there is no Caribbean influence in hip hop. What you talking about? I was like, how can you listen to The Bridge Is Over and think there's no Caribbean influence in hip hop? Like, and maybe it's because they don't they don't know reggae, they don't know like the history of it, they don't know the history of calypso. I'm like, how can you not? Where do you think Drake got his beats from? From Toronto? What do you think is in Toronto? Plenty of Caribbeans. I cackle at your foolishness. I know, Anwar, you already named like my boy Biggie, Busta, Fife. There's so many of them, and so many of them who like, I feel there's something, okay, so when I was younger, like I said, New York was the main state that we would go to. It's just south. But when I finally got to travel and see other places across the states, I realized New York has this interesting way of, maybe it's just because they have a larger Caribbean population. I don't know if that's true, but they're able to sort of keep certain things alive. And so their descendants, so, you know, children that could be born in the States, still have very specific Caribbean, like we would have the same sort of Caribbean upbringing, even me being in Canada and somebody being in the UK and being Caribbean, it's all that same upbringing. And it's so crazy to see their influences. And when I used to like use my allowance money to buy Teen Beat and then eventually Source and XXL and hide it under my bed because I had to hide it because my dad didn't want anything with swear words in the house. And reading their articles and like the influence of their mothers and their culture, it was like, yeah, we're out here. And I mean, this was before like seeing Sean Paul, and this was before seeing Rihanna. And even though we knew of people who were Caribbean, I feel like it wasn't as celebrated the way some of these artists celebrated their backgrounds. Twin said, yep, so many, and I was surprised. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot, especially from that area of the country. And actually a lot of, only because I've been going to Atlanta a lot in the past probably 10 years, a lot of Bajans in Atlanta. Ooh. I love me some Bajans. I mean, y'all are crazy, but I love y'all. Kimmy said, I had to wash the raw chicken off my hands. What they mean? No Caribbean influences in hip hop. That Tumblr troll dumb as fuck. Thank you. Girl, I know exactly. You were like, I'm gonna just watch the show. Oh, no, she did. Like, you ran to go. I know you did, because that would be me. I'd be like, I wasn't gonna talk at first, but no, I need to wash this off. Because I need to say something. Like, Twin, my team beat, and you remember when they used to have, like, in the middle would have the fold-out poster? Girl. Jonathan from New Kids on the Block was all over my wall. And then when I got older, it was DMX. And then one time, because I had a slanted part of the ceiling that I put DMX on, and woke up with DMX on top of me. And I'm not sorry to say I was not scared. It was dark and hell was hot. But yeah, these kids nowadays, they don't know. They don't know what it was like to go out and buy a magazine just to find out that Jonathan's favorite ice cream is also chocolate. Like, y'all don't know how we gonna get married. Do you see it right here? His favorite ice cream is chocolate. What's my favorite ice cream? Y'all are crazy if you think there's a difference. It's like that's, I know. There's so many, Kimmy said, cool Herc, thank you. Basically, founders, the foundation, I'm sorry, to me, the foundation of hip hop comes from, is it toasting? Toasting. Jamaicans? Reggae. That's where it comes from. Just the foundation. I'm not saying y'all didn't have your influence, because it's Black Americans to make it happen. At the end of the day, y'all push the wheel for everything that makes gold. Like fashion, music, hair, everything, skin, lips, everything that they want is like based off of you guys pushing it and making it a hit. But we threw in our influences. It's Caribbeans. We're like, we just like in the little cracks. We here. And we just go back to like, but we're there. Kimmy said, I love me some Jordan. See, y'all all watched Jordan, but Jonathan was the quiet, silent type. Like, but he used to watch me with them eyes from the poster, and I was like, I see you, Jonathan. Oh, I see you. I know they going after Jordan and all them others, but you could get, oh my God. MKOTB? That was the group for me. I'm joking. I'm not joking. I'm really not. I was obsessed with Jonathan. Oh my Lord. Okay. So it says she hears him growl in her ear. That's nigga son started something. Like I love, ooh, that growl just used to like, especially with my headphones on. I think that's why I love having headphones. It's partly from feeling the bass a lot more and feeling like I can hear every part of the song. Especially when I listen to like classical music from playing piano. Like I want to hear every part and the foot pedal and all of that. But yeah, it's also because they all up in my ear, just like. Kimmy's like, then he got replaced with Devontae Swain. I don't know who you speak of. I've never heard of this name in my entire life. I love my headphones. Love, like, if I don't have, my headphones are charged more than like my phone. Like I just, especially because I'm like, I have my phone, I have my tablet, somehow I'm going to play my music. I don't care if you can't message me. I care if I can't hear music. Just, that's how it is. Especially with the bass. But the thing is, for me, hearing the bass in the headphones is like us at fetes, like Caribbean fetes. When you're, I mean, these speakers are usually how huge that they are, but the bass from our songs, it flows through you, and I think that's why a lot of us feel like our Caribbean music is in our veins, because it, even just playing mass, like I love being close to a truck, and I'm probably gonna be that old lady that's like, huh? What you say? Because I love feeling the bass, especially my like favorite songs, feeling the bass in my body, feeling like my heart is beating to that song is just like, that's life. It's just life. I love playing mass so much. I love that feeling of just chipping to that bass, and it's flowing through you, and everybody around you feels it too. Like everyone is in that moment. Twin said exactly, the bass flows through me. It's just, yeah. So I feel like it goes to that of feeling that that beat. The music flows through your veins, and it replaced your heart. That's what it feels like. Replace your heartbeat. Like you're like, okay, my heart was beating kakunk, 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 but right now it's going doom 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 boom 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 boom, and I'm like, it is, and my feet are moving to it. I like a chip, a chip, a chip. Like for us, West Indians, chipping is basically just walking to the beat. But oh my god, it's like you don't have control over your body, and it actually makes it, especially with Caribbean music. I feel like we still have such a connection to Africa and to those influences, like those musical influences, that it really just, if you've ever watched, even my African friends, when they post like Instagram videos of weddings or just celebrations, it's like the music is just a part of your body. Like you just know how to move it. It's the same way I feel when I watch Native Americans, because my mom would take me to a lot of powwows when I was younger, with her work, and just what, like the way that they dance is just feeling that music, and that's how it feels. It's like just, there's not even like, even the dances that we do, because I've had people come and be like, how do you guys all know? I mean, yeah, there's certain songs that will tell you. My friend will be like, all you girls will do like the same thing. I go, it's just innate. Like we just, Sapia said that's how house music is for us in Chi-Town area. Yes, and I've heard that. Like, and house music, I only say back in the day because I remember, like, for me, house music was going out with my older cousin or my brother, like being younger, but getting to be with, like, the cool older kids, and just seeing Black people dance was, like, it was I don't know what it was like just being in a space that is just Black people with their music and watching them dance is like, it's like constant memories of, okay, I see why they would hate us, because this is it's magical. There's energy here. It just feels amazing. I always said the drum is connected to our soul. I know people say that a lot in the Caribbean, that the drum is like, that's what it is. It's that drum. And even Black people, y'all remember that Chappelle Show skit? Like, Black people hear a drum and we're like, where's that coming from? Like, but we're jamming. But like shoulders are moving. And even like I have friends, like my Eritrean friends, when I watch their weddings, I love seeing like the women and the shoulders, and just there's a lot of songs, especially a lot of old calypso songs, that like for me speak to just so much about my culture, that yeah, when I feel it, my eyes are closed. I'm in another place. I'm not there. Okay, Charlie, I am not there. Like Sapio said, the drums in all African culture connects us even in the church. Like, yes, it's a beat. It is the heartbeat. It's the center. And for all of us, I feel like we still have that connection. That's the one good thing. For people in the States who feel like this is our land because we have nothing to go back to, and all of us that have different places, it's like, no matter what, we're connected by that. Because I don't know a single, like, Black culture that doesn't have that drum as like the bass. Even for us in Trinidad, when it comes to playing steel pan, like that bass sets everything. The bass player in the band, to me, especially in a soca band, in a calypso band, he sets everything. He is the rock star of the band, the bass player. He's like, because I used to think the bass player was always the coolest man, like like I was just like, this guy's, what you doing later? Like, meanwhile, I was like 8 years old. I swear to God, y'all. I was just like, I'm 8, you're 27. What you saying? Mama, I'm gonna marry a bass player. Child, hush your mouth now. Like that. That was gonna happen. But yeah, they were the rock stars. They are the rock stars of like a soca band. When you see a band live, the bass player, can't nobody touch him. Can't nobody touch the bass player. Even the singer, nobody could touch the bass player, cause he cool in the corner and he cool. Sometimes he looking like he don't even need to be there. Why they even call him? He not even paying attention to the whole thing. He just, Like, sir, how do you? Are you even looking at the? Do you know there's a bass in front of you? Like, and yet, little 8-year-old Andie is just like, you kill it. It's your stage. Singer, get out the way. God, why you gotta walk back and forth? Like, it's sad, but I was obsessed. Bass player, obsessed. So, that bass, that beat, that boom, that we feel, it's in us. Maybe that's why we have, I shouldn't say that. I was gonna say maybe that's why we have rhythm, but I know some black people that ain't got rhythm. I'm just gonna say. And I ain't gonna lie. Not having rhythm, like, I don't think I could get with somebody that doesn't have rhythm. And I've been in a situation with someone who didn't have rhythm. And it hurt a lot because I was like, how can I introduce them to my Caribbean family? Like, this is all they'll talk about, is that you have no rhythm. If we ever got to the point of, like, getting married, that would be the entire wedding. Like, the first dance, everyone would be like, watch him, watch. Yo, me even know if he know if his love lifting him up. Me I know if he know what song playing you. Watch the left foot, watch it. Like, that hurt them. Anwar, I should have had that. That should have been my thing. That should also be a t-shirt. But that should have been my first indication that there's something wrong with this person, because you shouldn't trust people without rhythm. Like, whoo, child. Yeah. It's just, I know. My Caribbean family, like, first, I mean, y'all know, black families, weddings go on for, like, hours and hours on end. And Caribbean families are dancing from the get-go. Like, coming out the bat, they're dancing. So, you can't dance? Like, even if you can't dance the soca, that's okay, as long as you have rhythm. Because if you have rhythm, you can chip. Like I said, chipping is just walking to the music. You can do that. I mean, my dad has rhythm. He doesn't dance. He doesn't really dance that much. Like, he'll dance with my mom and stuff like that, but not a big time dancer, but that's okay. But no rhythm? No. I can't do it. I cannot. Okay, Sapio says I can't dance. But do you have rhythm? That's what I mean. Like, if you can't dance, that's okay. As long as when you're snapping, it is on the beat. Okay, that's all I'm asking for. I'm asking for a snap on the beat. Rhea says you can't introduce them. It was over before it started. Honestly, I'm kind of glad that he never met my mother, because she has absolutely no filter. Y'all, I wish I could tell you the story that, like, happened recently, but all I gotta say is she ain't cool with peoples in our family, and peoples in our family ain't cool with her. Like, and she had the nerve to respond with, and why are you so rude? And, like, just, my mother's rude, so I know she'd be like, I know a story I could tell you. My first boyfriend invited him to the house. I was really scared because he's Jamaican, so he already had that strike against him with my mother being Trinidadian. Yes, people. So he comes, and the way my parents' house is situated, like, the kitchen is at the back, and so she peeks her head out to look at the front door, because he's just walked in, right? So I'm in the kitchen with her, but I can see him straight away, right? So I'm like, there's him and there's mom. There's him, there's mom, there's mom, there's him. My mother looks out. What's wrong, Mom? I know I raised you to not judge a book by its cover, but oh God. that was my first meeting of that boyfriend with my mother. And the thing is, leading up, I knew that was gonna happen. Like, I knew she was gonna be like, he's ugly, and feel no way about saying it in front of me or him or anybody else. So can you like, and that's just her. That's just her. My entire family seeing a man that can dance. Wasn't gonna happen. I don't trust them, and I feel like men with no rhythm, sorry, let me rephrase that. I feel like men or women with no rhythm cannot have sex well. I'm sorry. I don't. Like, you don't compare it to people who have rhythm. It's just, no. That's how I feel. And we're said, I'm like, who raised you, right? What was in your, like, you feel like being their therapist. Like, okay, and let's talk about that. So, your mother was never around? Like, what happened? My mom has no filter. Like, none. And as she gets older, like I said, as you get older, you're just like, I can't be bothered. You ugly. Why are you wearing that when you know that dress still fit you? Like, she tells it like it is, but ouch. Ouch. Some people is thin-skinned. Twin said, you have rhythm. You don't know yet, Sapio. Sapio, I feel like you have rhythm. If you can snap to a song, if you can keep up with something, you don't even have to, like, have pitch or tone or anything like that. But if you're snapping to, like, the same beat that everybody else is snapping to, you good. You don't have to know how to dance. That's my thing. Like, even Twin said, Twin has rhythm, Twin can dance, and she's working on whining. It's possible. There are lots of dances I cannot do at all. Heel and toe, oh my God. My entire life, heel and toe has been hard. I'll like start off, like I could start off getting it, and then for some reason I get confused somewhere halfway. But a kickball change, I can do a kickball change. I compare, girl. So yeah, Sapio. I feel like exactly what Twin said. I feel like you probably have rhythm, even if you can't. Your definition of you can't dance. But yeah, my mom, no filter. But yeah, I think it should be a share. Like, I cannot trust anyone. I cannot trust any black people who do not have rhythm. Black and brown people, actually. I'm going to put them both in there. But yeah, if you don't have rhythm, I'm watching you side-eye, you know. I'm talking about I'm in a complicated situation. Like, we don't need to be talking. Can nobody trust you? Yeah. We went so off topic, y'all. I'm so sorry. Female orgasms. We started with it. And then, as usual, it went into so many other amazing different subjects. That's really all that happened. I love this. This is like my favorite part of the show. These are my favorite shows, when it starts with one topic and it goes all over the board, and I love it. So yeah, we talked about our squirting, we talked about cumming, we talked about what we feel is female orgasms. So now my question is, it can be for the ladies and the men. The men, you can just respond with maybe best experience or just your own understanding. But how would you describe your best orgasm? Even if it's something that you have on a regular basis. So if it's like, how would you describe when you have multiple O's, if that's your best orgasm? How do you just, like, what is that feeling for you? Because that's usually the hardest thing for a lot of young women, is they're like, what does an orgasm feel like? Because maybe I've had it already. I remember thinking that at some point too, like, well, if you guys are saying, like, some people are saying it feels like fireworks, but then that girl over there was like, she feels very warm, and like, I felt very warm last night. Like, is that an orgasm? So what is that feeling for you? For me at least, as I wait for others to answer, for me, I guess I would say, I guess it's multiples, but it's like it feels like I'm having a seizure. Like, or not, I shouldn't say that because I've never had a seizure and I don't want to offend anybody who does have seizures. But like my body is convulsing and I literally can only feel that pleasure. Like I don't know what I'm holding. I don't know if I'm saying anything. I'm pretty sure my eyes roll back in my head, but it is like, it's like waves. Yeah. It's like waves washing over me, just like one after the other, but it feels like waves of colors. I feel like very like movie hippie right now, but yeah, waves of colors. And that's the, see, and after feeling that one, that though the multiple was the one that I was like, oh, I need to feel this all the time. Like that's the one I'm usually trying to achieve, even in masturbation, because that's the one that afterwards I'm just like, I can see my arms, but they will move. Water, sure. Good. Oh, it moved. Like I'm out. I don't know none. So for me, that, I guess that also leads to twin, when you were asking if I thought squirting was orgasm. For me, I'm like, oh, that's my orgasm feeling. And all those things that I used to read or hear from other women, I feel like that was what they were trying to describe. So it's hard for me to say that everything else is that. I know I'm coming, but I'm not feeling the holy grail type of thing. Well, for me, it's all body consuming, eyes rolling up, body shaking. So yeah, we're same. And intense ones, I can literally pass out. I don't know if I've passed out, but it's more like I really don't. Like you're aware and also you have no clue what's happening at the same time. And so that's what I meant when I said earthquakes. Yeah, it's like an earthquake. And I kind of got that from when you were describing it earlier, that like that's what you would describe as a woman's orgasm. So then here's a question for you. If that's like, you're just like, yeah, that earthquake, have you been with a girl where you don't get that? And if you have, did you feel like, okay, no, she just came in a different way? Or did you feel like you didn't accomplish making her come because it wasn't an earthquake? I just wonder. Twin said, and feel like your body's floating in and out of body. Yeah, that floating feeling. Oh my God. Rhea said, convulsing, eyes roll back, uncontrollable sound, pitch, total release. Twin agreed with it. You're right. That, like, I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what sounds. I don't know. I have no control over, like, I could be making a farting noise. I could be farting. I have no clue. I have no control of my body, and all I feel is this pleasure, and it is amazing. Ugh. Y'all got me. Y'all always do this to me. You know, you guys do this to me on a regular basis, and it makes me sick because you get me in my head thinking about it, and then it looks like the screen froze. Like I'm just, that the eyes rolling back and like convulsing it. Ooh, yeah. And I said, yeah, she creamed and moaned, groaned, but no quakes. So you just felt like, okay, she just comes in a different way, but you didn't feel, I'm glad, because I just always wondered if you feel like this is the way a woman orgasms, or you're kind of expecting this reaction. If you feel like a different reaction means they don't come, which actually makes me wonder for men, because I'm sure there are men out there who orgasm, and maybe not all the time that means ejaculation. I'm just assuming that there probably are men out there like that. Samuel said, every woman is different, so you can't take it personally unless she's not coming at all. Agreed, but I just feel like if like women can have things to be self-conscious about, a man might take that personally, especially guys that are like, yo, I'm done with church girls because it's not, yes, sometimes it can be because a certain girl may have broken their heart or something like that, but I wonder sometimes too if it's the reaction that they get, especially when some of us women, unfortunately, have been guilty of staying silent. Twin said, and I do feel for women who never experience one, they really don't know what they're missing. That's the thing, and that's why I even tell, like, If I speak to somebody who's younger than me, I'm like, you gotta explore yourself. It's the same way as if you believe the saying, you have to love yourself before like asking somebody to love you. It's the same thing. Like, you can't expect somebody to please you when you don't even know what feels good or doesn't feel good. Rhea said, I met a woman like that when I worked at the sex shop. She's saying it's twin. Yeah, there's a lot of women, even like our ages, that have never orgasmed. Or I feel for some women just have never gotten out of their head to be able to like truly feel that pleasure. Kimmy said, feels like couch lock after an intense orgasm. Right? Like, I feel, oh my God. Sometimes I literally feel like I'm too exhausted to talk. Like, I'm like, the person is talking to me and I'm responding in my head, but I'm just like, I can't get those words to make my lips move and say it, because that sex was so good. I've actually gotten a bladder infection from like multiple O's like that, because I literally could not get up to go pee, and I was like, this is gonna come back to bite me in the ass. And God was like, not in the ass, but it will bite you in the bladder. It sure will. And the minute I felt that bladder infection, I was like, I know exactly where it came from, and I want to regret it, but I don't. I couldn't move, Lord. Maybe you shouldn't have sent me the boy that made me where I can't move. How about that? Catch me outside. How about that? Twin said, I've met women like that too. Yeah. And it makes me sad when it's women like getting to like their 30s and 40s, because I feel like I was always told that like that's the era when you really come into your own as a woman and as a Black woman, that sex gets better. So when I meet women that are in that phase of their life, I'm like, girl, like, let me buy you a wand and a hotel room. Like, I think if I was like balling out of control, I'd probably have like some sort of side business of Black escorts. Like, it would just be for Black women. No offense to any other race, but like, I'm just gearing it towards Black women, finding Black men to just love on them for a little while, and then he leaves. Girl, he may even clean too. And just say, clean the house, fuck you good, and leave. It's my dream relationship right there. Dream relationship. And when I said I wanted a quake though, tried again, but I was happy she got hers. And I think that's it. Just like Sapio had said earlier, I feel like everyone across the board feels that way, that it doesn't really matter on the reaction. It's more just, am I giving this person pleasure? Am I giving them like the greatest pleasure that I can give them? And if that's a yes, I don't really care how they're like, I don't care what the reaction is. It's just knowing, did I please you? Great. Because that's how I feel with my partner. Like, I just want to make sure I pleased you. If you don't want to do this, cool. But like, what will please you? And if it's like, if it works for both of us, that's all I care about. Twin said lockjaw because you can't talk. Ugh. I've only had lockjaw once, like actual lockjaw. I actually had a friend that like her jaw would always lock when she was giving head. I felt so bad for her because she really liked it. Twin said exactly. They were a couple years younger than me. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I'm just thinking of the same experiences. Rhea said she was older, freshly divorced with a teen son, and never had an orgasm. Like, that's just, right? Like, twin, even ones that are, you're right, even just a couple years younger, you're just like, I almost want to help you, but then we as women also know that it's an experience only you can go through. And I remember even trying by myself and getting so frustrated because I kept thinking, like, come on, you should be able to do this. You should. And we put that word on ourselves so much. And obviously, the more you're tensing up, the more you're not gonna, like, experience one. So, I just want, especially when it's Black women, it's just, that's my heart right there. I literally just want to buy them all vibrators and like give them time off work. And just, I mean, if I have to create a business where men have to do that, I'm sure these black men would do service for their women. You know what I mean? Like, if they have to be paid in order to like basically make you come no matter what, I think black men would support me. They would step up. It'd be hard. It'd be hard, but they'll push through. Y'all, I'm corny as hell. I'm sorry. I really am. There was a movie like that. What was the name of the movie? Like, but was it black people though? And I said, I'm not only the president, I'm also a client. Hair Club for Men was just, back in the day, infomercials, these children will never know what infomercials were like. Sapio was like, put in application, right? Like, I know it's tough for you guys as black men, but I feel that you'll put aside all of that, I can't do this, and you will soldier on. You will do your duty to black women. I feel like nowadays especially, like, most black women are afraid of privacy. Whether that's privacy from your job, privacy from your family and friends knowing that you've hired somebody for sex. But I feel like it's the best situation. You get someone that is going to like cater that experience to what you want, and you got an orgasm. Like, it's just, and I promise you that he will not be able to leave until you come. Until you come. Like, it's just, that would be my business. I wouldn't even care if it makes money. Like, can I make it a non-for-profit? Just, that's all I care about. And black men, I honestly would love an experience like that for you guys too, but you kind of already have it. But just not with black women. I feel like y'all would benefit from an experience like that too. I love that movie. Kerry Washington's in that. Kerry Washington is... Since that woman was a single mother and saved the last dance, oh, she had my heart. I love Kerry. So I hear you, twin. I still have a crush on her, even with her children. And I was like, I won't tell your secret's safe with me. And Sabio said, I volunteer as tribute. Sabio, you don't need to volunteer. Like, I'm literally just gonna be like, are you a black man? As long as we do like we're gonna do some sort of like background check and stuff like that, because I want these women to be safe. But yeah, y'all just have to make them come. However it is that makes them come. That's what you gotta do. If we gotta do, and if there's women that don't have money, there will be an exchange service. Like, if it has to be like, Sapio will spend the entire weekend making you come, and you do his taxes. Maybe you work at the light company. Maybe you can reduce his bill. Like, I want equal exchange. I want this to benefit black people only. I really want this though. That would be my business. Like, I'd be, Kimmy, come on. Like, I really see it going places. I really do. Twin said I want to be the secretary. Like, and y'all know, ooh, you know what, twin? I won't make you the secretary, but you know what you'll be in charge of? Hiring. You'll have to do interviews with these men. And whatever you have to do to make sure that they are going to be doing their jobs can be a part of the interview process, Anwar said, we'll make you bust one for some butt, right? Anwar, you make her come and she give you that primo good. You know what I mean? Like, I know it sounds bad, y'all, but I would make a woman come for some cake. Like, if you can make bomb ass cake, especially like a double chocolate fudge, I'd take that as payment. Or if like you cooked and did like my meal prep for the week, let's talk. Like, I'm good with that. I'm eating healthy and I'm making somebody's pleasure amazing. Like, come on now. Yeah, you'll be like HR. You're in charge of hiring. So however you have to test them, like, I mean, most of them are gonna have to show you what they look like naked, because they're obviously gonna have to go up on a site and have the women be able to choose from them. And the great thing with the men is, if you have your regulars, you know y'all could be making like either good money or things will be covered for you. You know what I mean? You know? It's a win-win. It's a black win. That's all I'm looking for. I'm looking for black women to get laid, black men to be a part of that, and just everybody getting along. Twin, they would have to be naked. They have to show themselves naked. And then you can have whoever you want as your photographer, because we need pictures to go up on the site. I feel like if we keep it in-house, it saves them money, it saves us money. Unless we sent them, the only way I would see it is like, the only businesses I'm working with are other black businesses. So if you guys are getting shots done for the site, it's going to a black photographer. You know what I mean? Like, we keeping it in-house. Black accountants. I know we can't have black banks, but do you guys have? And I said, I'm already enjoying the work environment. Like, and that's the thing. You guys will be able to set your own hours. So the most you would come into us for is like support, or like, you know, you were in danger or something happened. But Kimmy was like, hey, now I'm your woman, bacon cook girl. Can you imagine? Like, this is what we talk about. Like, this is what me and Kimmy talk about. Like, a man who comes in 5 days a week and gets you off. Like, and the thing is, you could have a package. He could get you off. Maybe on a Tuesday, y'all watching a Netflix special. Maybe on a Wednesday, Paco come over. Y'all make tacos. Maybe on a Thursday, like, and where you just smoking a little bud, having a little drink. Like, and each time, if you got money, you pay him money. If you ain't got money, bake him something. Meal prep all his meals. Like, shoot, some of these single fathers out there, babysit his kid. Like, I'm just trying to set y'all up. I'm just trying to make it where, like, you know, Tina Turner, what's love got to do with that? We ain't trying to get to the love. We're just trying to match each other up. Match each other up. That's all I'm saying. Sapio said, I'm a workaholic too. You definitely are a workaholic, though. That's the joke. You are. Kimmy said, meal prepper now. See, because it's Sunday. It's Sunday night. You're meal prepping. Y'all, we have gone 2 hours. Isn't this crazy? I didn't even think it was 2 hours. I didn't even think it was. I was like, no, it's only been 45 minutes. No, it's definitely been 2 hours. And I said, this works. I honestly think it would. I don't know how to start it exactly, but like, black women, that's our biggest thing. It's like, we're tired of the dick pics in the DMs. We're tired of like just meeting rando strangers. But then I find the people online that I vibe with, where it's like pen pals, we're too far away. But if we have this service, it's like, and when we grow and it's like international, so everywhere you go, you got somebody. Just saying. I don't mind making tacos with Paco on a Wednesday. Going up on a Wednesday. I just think it'd be dope. Twin said, yeah, some cutie children. I'd do that. Yeah. Airbnb. Edward said Airbnb. I love it. I love it. Why do I feel, though, that I've seen that in porn ads? That's another thing. I've seen so many. You know, when you're looking at your porn sites, there's so many ads, like, there was, like, I forgot the clever one they came up with, like, fucking for Tinder. But, yeah. He said, girl, I'm thinking of being the first black bank business in Canada. We gonna get there, girl. They just got the first black city councillor in Ottawa. You guys don't know, Ottawa is the capital of Canada. About damn time, but yeah. I mean, like Beyonce said, ain't that a bitch? Ain't that about a bitch? The first black woman to head Coachella. Like, y'all ain't never seen. I won't even talk about Janet. I won't get into that because then I'm gonna start cussing. People said, adding willing to travel and bring a friend if necessary to the application. See, that's the thing. These are the things that twin will be looking for, and you can discuss in your interviews. I feel like there should be like a first like phone interview, and then twin, when you feel they should go to like the next stage, that's when you have like the hours-long interview where they will need to show body and possibly have to do whatever activities that you specify. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, oh, no. Sapio was I think Sapio meant like the girl can bring a friend. He's okay with, is that what you meant? Not like you bringing a friend, right? Ria said, are you going to expand into kink services too? I sure will. That's starting off the bat, because as black people, I feel like we don't, I do know about organizations and like events. I know there's like a big one, twin, in Baltimore, right, of like kink stuff, but I find for some of us in other areas like here in Canada, there's not a lot. I know of like secret parties and stuff like that, like some of what I did, but yeah, it, of course kink is going to be in there. That's why I'm like, you would pay him to please you in any way, like, and that pleasure can happen in any way. It's like when I was trying to explain one time to somebody being a mistress, and they're like, so you basically had a lot of sex. I go, funny thing is, no, I didn't. Because it's not necessarily what somebody needs to be pleasured, falling under kink services. But yeah, definitely kink. It's like I feel like it'd be like being a madam back in the day, but on the internet. The Crucible is what I found out in DC. There's one, I was listening to Kinky Black Girls podcast. I love her podcast. If you guys ever get a chance to listen to it, I think you can get to it from her Instagram page, but she's on SoundCloud. And she was talking about, she'd gone to Sprung. And so I guess the organizers, I don't remember the actual names, but the organizers that do that event do several other events. It's a dungeon. Okay. Yeah. There's a lot, but for other cities where the black population maybe isn't as big, it's a little harder. And so, yeah, it'd be great to know, like, I could call a pizza and I could call a black man and he can come over with that pizza. And what we do is what we do. You know? And I could pay him in, like, homemade beard oil, like, for the rest of his life. You know what I mean? Like, crazy. Yeah, I've heard there's a lot in Baltimore, and that's great. That's really great. Sapio said, you have an app, and she puts her order in, like, create your own pizza, right? Like, you put in, I would say 3, because I know if I give black women choices, they would go hell hard. But, like, 3 to 5 of the top things that you want at that moment. And that's what'll come up in the filter. Choose which one. Do you want somebody, because then it'll also have to be like time. I don't want you guys to feel like you're going to have to rush out to, you know, jobs. So it'd be like people who are available right away, people who are not available right away. Maybe you have to book a week in advance because you know after that work event or like this project you've been working on for 2 months, you gonna need Vashcom to like work it out. Like Kimmy said, there was Sexapalooza. Not sure if that's a thing here still. I don't know, because I know, and we still had the everything to do with sex show. I used to love going to that. Oh my god, everything to do with sex show was like a sex convention kind of, because you can like shop for sex toys. They had workshops. They'd have pole dancing classes, but I used to love the workshops because they did have black speakers, especially with our that black group. I don't know if Kimmy, if you'll remember, but the one that's like LGBTQ inclusive, and they usually hold the Black Blocko when we have Pride Parade. But I know they would usually have speakers at the Everything to Do with Sex show. And I just love going to workshops, and yeah, it was dope. And I said, hook my locks up and I'll do any and everything you want done to you, like a 90s R&B song. And you ain't said nothing but a word. Because I just told my friend, I was like, look, you're always making friends. Can you make some friends that do hair for free? Can you do that? Can you make some friends that are like, oh my God, guys, I'm thinking of starting a business and I just want to experiment on your hair. Can we do that? Can we find friends? Because just because I can do my hair doesn't mean I want to, okay? Find us them friends. So yeah. Can you imagine? She does your hair for you? Shoot, I might just hire one of these men just to wash my hair. Because I hate washing my hair, y'all. Kimmy said, yes, Gemini. So that's the twin. I went a few times a few years back. It was a sex expo and had a kink dungeon. And then twin said, they just had a big one in Chicago right after I left. Oh, yeah, the one in Chicago was Exotica because I saw... King Noire and Jet Set Jasmine were there, and that one looked dope. I was like, oh, that looks so cool. I might want to do that next year though. If it's in Chicago around the same time, that would be dope. Because watching King Noire and Jet Set Jasmine flog Toyomi, I was just like, that was erotic. Like, it was... I never thought of flogging before, but if you guys get to see, I think it's on my Twitter. It might be on Twins because I saw it on Twitter. It's probably on her Instagram as well. But ooh, it was sexy. It was sexy, y'all. Thank you so much for this episode. We went the full 2 hours. We did it. Next week I'm in Jamaica. Bra, 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 bra. I'm in Jamaica for Jamaica Carnival. And I am going to be filming. The fun thing is, Jamaica Carnival is actually on the Sunday. So, y'all gonna see my shenanigans. My shenanigans. I could get a little, you know, when that liquor get in... And then I won't lie, y'all. I'm going to be exactly the same. Like, I'll just be exactly the same, but on 10. But yeah, it's going to be some fun stuff. It's just going to be for subscribers, though. Because I want, like, my peoples who are always here and tuned in, I want you guys to, like, be on vacation with me. That's basically it. I just want you guys to see that I am just as stupid on vacation. Oh man, I'm so ready. My suitcase looks like a bomb went off. Especially like, I don't know if you guys are the same, but my friends and I just figured out that we get one suitcase free. Woo! It's been a while, child. It's been a while. I'm about to go ham with all this suitcase bars. And I purposely bought a suitcase that was like the lightest suitcase I could find. So I'm taking full advantage of my 50 pounds. So yeah, that will be next week. But thank you guys all for tuning in. So next week, subscribers, I'm going to be sending you guys the link for that specific live show. YouTube will notify you to it. So it's okay whether like you see the link right before the show starts or a couple days before. You will all get the link. And so the only way that you'll be able to see the Jamaica show is if you subscribe. But thank you guys for tuning in. Until next week when I'm going to be darker. I'm going to be warmer. Y'all will see my hair fully because I finished it. But I'm saving it. I'm saving the reveal. You know, I'm saving it. But thanks, guys. Such a great show. Bye. Oh, I love my people.